Measuring progress is an essential part for growth, whether that will be in sport, career, doing push-ups, or simply sitting down on the floor and meditating. In this video, I will talk about my top 3 principles when setting yearly goals. I'm Filip Manuilov. Pay attention, and by the end of this video, I'll reveal some of my goals for 2025. There is a statistic that about 80% of the goals that are set out at New Year's are forgotten by the time it hits February, so make sure you're not part of the statistic. If you're watching this video, chances are that you've already seen some videos about setting goals, and I would say probably the most important thing that you could get out of this is take action and always contribute to what you're going for. I will also mention the concept of setting SMART goals, which means you should always set goals that are specific, so you know exactly what you want. Measurable, so it makes it easier when you're able to quantify the goal. Attainable or achievable, so it's possible for you to do. Relevant, checking if it fits your bigger dream. Time specific, so you got a time constraint within which you are supposed to complete the goal. So that's an acronym that you can remember very easily. It's SMART goals. That's probably should be applied to all the goals that you set out. That's the framework in which you are bound to set your goals. Also, the principles I'm about to cover, these are the principles that I set out for myself when I tried a bunch of different techniques and different methods that I used throughout the years, and this is what I think is probably the best frame for me to be setting out the goals, and I'd recommend you use the same. So the principle number 1 is to set out goals that are action-based, which is, I will give you an example. If you set out a goal, you just want to get fit, it's not a very clear goal and it doesn't really fit into the framework of the SMART goal because it's not very specific. You don't really have any measurable results you can go for. So a better way of phrasing it would be, let's go to the gym 3 times a week and throughout the year, and stick to that rule. And by you going to the gym several times a week will definitely increase the chances of you getting fit, which is the ultimate goal. So it's basically seeing it through the way how you want to see your ultimate goal and the ultimate achievement, and breaking it down into the actionables, which is going to the gym 3 times a week. I think that's personally a really good strategy, and it applies to many different fields, not just going to the gym. It applies all over the platform. So if we're thinking about, I want to read about 20 books a year. So in order to do that, it's best to say read for half an hour a day, and then you're way more likely to achieve this goal of 20 books per year, or even more, I would say. Doing this, you will also develop a habit. And second one, I would say is interesting, probably not many people talk about it, but is to put the goals that you want to achieve in a present tense. And this would be a psychological image that you want to imagine, and you want to be this future self, the person that you are envisioning you are about to become. And that makes it far more realistic for you to achieve, and because you will be growing into this person, and this will be merging realities. So I would say this is an important aspect that you want to set out in your phrasing for the goals. So it's not like I will go to the gym X amount of times per week. It is, I am going to the gym 3 times a week. It is already part of you. It is already becoming you. So mentally you overstep this barrier that is blocking or perhaps stopping you from doing a certain action because you're not quite there yet. However, this psychological framing is, I would say, really important in order to understand how to attain and achieve things that you might not have yet or might not be yet, but you're certainly aiming for, and you already imagine this. So whatever you imagine is real, and that's what we say. The third principle that I want to talk about is don't set too many goals. So for a year, I would say I stick to about 5 to 7 important major goals that are definitely taking some time, that are not like go to the gym 5 times a week and that's it. That's a year goal complete. No, it's something bigger, something like a bigger vision that takes time to develop. So you probably need to write down several different goals. So as I said, I'm going for about 5 to 7. They're major, and sometimes if I would complete one of the goal, then I would move on to the next one, and then if I complete like a bunch, then I might even add an extra goal depending on the time frame. And obviously, yeah, I would say it's advisable to set out different goals across different areas of life. So could be your personal life, so fitness, could be state of mind, could be just anything like career related and so on, studies, whatever you're working. So just across different fields, that's probably a really good way of growing. And I guess even going back to the time when we were in school, we were all learning a bunch of different subjects. So don't narrow your mind to just one area, one field of study, one field of thinking. Just it's important to be multifaceted and think in different spectrums of life and develop in a bunch of areas. That would make you a much better person overall. Another thing I want to say, and once you set out these yearly goals, you have like set out 5 to 7, maybe more, maybe less, the ones that are important. And I like to usually break them down in a list for a month, so a smaller sub goals that are probably better and easier to complete within a month, but that would contribute to the overall bigger vision that you set out for the year. So breaking these goals down is definitely a good idea. I'm pretty sure you've heard about it. There's nothing new there, but it's all old concepts repeated over and over, but it's just a matter of applying them. And finally, speaking about some of the goals that I set out for myself for this year, I'm not going to reveal everything, and some of them you will actually see later on this channel. There's something big coming up, which I'm really excited for. I've been working on it for quite some time. But if I was to reveal some of the goals that I set out for myself for this year, 2025, number one would be obviously growing this channel. Last year, done a good progress. The goal was to get to 100. I almost got to 200 by the end of last year. So this year is 1,000 subscribers, and I've broken it down for myself to be releasing and filming about one video every week. So I might be doing a bit less or a bit more, depending on like some week I could release 2 videos and I could miss 2 like the other week. So it might not be exactly 1 video a week, but overall I should have 50 videos at the end of the year. And the second one would be, actually I think is really challenging, is taking a shower, a cold shower for 15 minutes at a time. And yeah, I will make a separate video about doing cold showers, and this is just an incredible feat that you could go through. It's a great mind exercise and it's actually really healthy. So 15 minutes is the goal. And the other one would be meditating daily for 20 minutes. Again, I will probably be covering mindfulness later on in some other video, but it's just super important to take care of your spirit, because this is essentially who you are, I guess, and being able to control your mind is super important. And as Lao Tzu said, whoever controls their mind and spirit, the universe surrenders to. So this will conclude my video about the goals. I hope you like the principles. See what you think about it. Let me know in the comments what other principles you apply to when you set your goals, and maybe I missed something. Maybe you could actually recommend anything that's could be really useful in setting goals. And definitely there's a lot of things that could be covered when setting goals. It's a really broad topic. This could be a very long video, but I just wanted to keep it nice and short. So if you like it, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.